Good morning and welcome to the Scotiabank Pond. It's time for the OHL Cup quarterfinal here on Rogers TV. It's our first broadcast, second game of the day, and it'll be the Mississauga Rebels from the GTHL taking on York Simcoe Express out of the OMHA. Hello everybody, it's Bill Kanitis, and with me for the quarterfinals, Mr. Dana McKeel. Dana, this matchup here between these two sides, they came in as the top two ranked teams when you looked at the OHL Cup rankings coming to this one. People are calling this the final before the final, so to speak. Can't believe that this is a quarterfinal matchup.
Yeah, very, very tough matchup between these two squads. Very familiar with each other from the games that they played in the Silver Stick tournament when York Simcoe Express beat the Mississauga Rebels for that championship. And here we are today as probably the premier game of the four games being played.
Absolutely, and we know with the Mississauga Rebels, here is a look at those rankings before we came into the OHL Cup, so fitting that these two teams would play each other. People maybe not expecting it to be in the quarterfinal, but we know the Mississauga Rebels in the GTHL, slow start to the season. They went on an unbelievable streak where they were undefeated in 32 straight games. Now they booked a ticket to the final against the Marlies, but first they've got to take care of business here at the OHL Cup.
Well, they've got a 3-1 record in this tournament so far, and those victories against Barrie, Elite Hockey, and London Junior Knights. The only loss was to the Don Mills Flyers yesterday, but it didn't mean anything. Offensively, they're putting up 5.25 goals a game. Defensively, allowing 2.75 makes a statement about where they are offensively and defensively against other teams in this tournament.
Yeah, we know goal scoring's never been a problem for this Rebels team. Now, for York Simcoe Express, I mean, what they've accomplished this year, first in the regular season, they won their OMHA playoffs, and now they're trying to win the OHL Cup as well, essentially get the hat trick, but they'll have to beat the Rebels here for a second time. But if there's any team that can do it, it's this YSE team that had a fairly good round-robin portion as well.
Speaking with head coach Rob Shilton, very congenial guy at that, coming in with a 2-0-2 record in this tournament. Victories against the Toronto Red Wings, and they hammered the Windsor Junior Spitfires last night 5-1. It also makes a statement about defense winning championships. They're only allowing 1.75 goals against average in this tournament. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are off the charts. Pretty much 1 and 2 when you look at everything with these two teams, what they've been able to do. Time for us to take a quick commercial break. Puck drop is next. We can't wait. Mississauga Rebels, York Simcoe Express, OHL Cup quarterfinals. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Scotiabank Pond, and here we go. Draw won by Hillis of YSE. We'll get into our starting goaltenders, and both teams missing only one player, so relatively healthy at this stage in the game, at this part of the season. As we're back here on Rogers TV, happy to have you here. It is OHL Cup quarterfinals. We can tell you it's 0-0 between the Flyers and Red Wings in rink number 2 as this one comes back to the point. Here's Stratus, winds up, shot deflects and goes wide. That is our other quarterfinal matchup right now. That one's scoreless. Coming back, Whitaker through the neutral zone with speed, takes it wide. Hit there from Aguano. That allows Damiani to pick one up, and he gets run over there by Ian McLean. He made the play, take a hit to make a play. There's McLean again, throwing his weight around. 2 big hits on the same shift. Coming back, there's a shot stopped by Purbu. Christian Purbu's played in 2 games in the tournament. He's won both of them for the Mississauga Rebels. And going the other way, Andre Berezinski, Dana, the starter for York Simcoe Express, 2 wins. He had a strong regular season with 15 wins and 5 shutouts with YSE. This kid's the real deal. I came and saw the matchup they had against the Toronto Red Wings, and it wasn't a great first half of the game for YSE. The reason they won, you look at their goaltender, he stood on his head.
Certainly to say that with a 1.67 goals against average in this tournament. He earns the right to play here today.
Here is McPherson, McDougall, McLean.
Yeah.
Vuko sends this one across. Out of the reach of McLean. Bond's got a bit of time as both teams make changes. That pass for the underager, Jack Hughes. This guy's incredible. When you watch him in full flight, full speed, and he's an underager, but he doesn't look out of place. Here comes Little John, puts on the brakes. Big power forward, sends it back to the point. Here's a turnover and a chance for YSE with numbers coming back. 3-on-2. Foreign. That one stopped. Puck's loose, and the net gets taken off. Christian Purbu with a big stop there, the Rebels goaltender.
And we've got a penalty coming up on the play, Bill, but watch the way the action continues and the way the puck was picked up on the play. Purbu cutting down on the angle with that. The issue is that whoever is going to make less mistakes has a better chance of winning this hockey game. Both teams very familiar with each other throughout the course of the season.
Well, Dana, there's skill, there's speed. That's why both of these teams are where they're at. So the way they match up, we know that. So I have to agree with you. It's about simplifying things, and there'll be a mistake or two that could be the difference here in this one. Or let's see if special teams can execute, as the York Simcoe Express will have their first power play of this one. McKim works it back. It's Little John who's in the box for the Rebels as McPherson. He's all tied up, sprawling there. Fletcher, nice job. Short-handed, he'll head off for a change. 30 seconds gone already in the first power play here for YSE as McPherson skates it out. Hits McKim. McKim, who was third in scoring in the OMHA, 53 points. Works it back to McPherson. Whitaker. Cameron Hillis. Unbelievable season for him. We'll get into that shortly.
Yeah, Bill, McKim had 2 goals in the third against the Windsor Junior Spitfires last night.
Shot from the point goes off a leg. That was Zach Young who got in the way of that one. YSE still have possession. They find Hillis on the left side, the right-handed shooter, the captain, back to McPherson. Nice puck movement by YSE, but not really able to put much towards the net in terms of scoring chances early on, as Whitaker at the end of a long shift gets beat out there by Teth Burles. One of those things about Teth Burles, complimentary player when it comes to scoring. He can really be a top 6 kind of player, but if you need him to penalty kill, he can also assume the role of a bottom 6 player as well. And that's not to any discredit to what he's able to do, but just talking about his versatility.
No, there's so many weapons in the lineup for Jeff Schmoge in his lineup, and certainly Teth Burles, the spotlight player today, 5'9", 165 pounds. He plays a lot bigger than that.
Here's McDougall. To Robertson. 10 seconds remain in this power play. Foreign protects the puck. He's got a man all over him. Robertson sifts it over to Cranston. Vuko in front, and we're back to 5-on-5 as you see Little John on your screen. Damiani chips that one past over, a couple YSE players. Now he's first to recover that puck. Vuko helping out defensively. Will start from behind his own net, sends it to Cranston. He'll take his time as well. Nice patience on display there, but almost a turnover thrown right up the middle. Here comes McHenry. He's got Foreign with him. Gauss. Number 16 for YSE. Loses that one to the speedster, Jack Hughes. Here comes Hughes through the neutral zone with speed. McPherson stands him up and plays that nicely. Good defensive play there. It's crazy to think, but one of these teams, Dana, this is going to be the end of the line for their OHL Cup journey. The two of the best, as you could say, and of course later today we're going to have Toronto Junior Canadiens and Quinte Red Devils here on Rogers TV. Let's have a look though at our other rink, a live update, as it was Matthew Hayami. He's had the goal scorer's touch. Pardon me, that was Trotman who got the final touch on that one, who puts it home. Hayami registers another point though. He's been putting goals home. And it's the Toronto Red Wings who at that point led 1-0. The Flyers have since responded, so we are tied all at 1 at our other quarterfinal game as YSE put on the pressure
here today, Bill, with the Red Wings and the Flyers. Also following up that game will be the Marlboros and Hamilton Junior Bulldogs, a team that has not lost a game in this tournament so far.
Well, the Junior Bulldogs have been outstanding so far in this tournament. Another game where I looked at it and go, I can't believe one of these two teams is going to call it after this afternoon and this morning. As Whitaker, Thomas Mea, who has 8 points, leads the way.
Well, the fans are certainly getting their money's worth coming here to watch all the action.
Thomas Mea, he sits 1 point back of Hunter Holmes from Niagara for the points lead in the OHL Cup. Mea with 8, but right now it's YSE. Good puck possession early on, and it looks like a penalty is coming up to the Express as Vuko was in on the forecheck, took a man down, and now we'll see the Rebels get their first power play.
And with the Mississauga Rebels, you just don't want to give them that opportunity. As mentioned, they've scored 21 goals offensively over the 4 games. We take a look at Vuko on the penalty. And certainly to say that you allow them the power play to be out there as much as they can, they're going to capitalize on that.
Well, over the course of the regular season, Dana, York Simcoe Express, as Damiani just keeps that one onside. Burrows tries to return the feed to Damiani. Stepping up was Bond, number 13. One of the top point getters for the Rebels. Damiani, keep an eye on him. He likes to post up on the off wing usually for one-timers. Now he's creeping into the slot. That feed was well read by Ian McLean, who makes a nice read there defensively after throwing a couple of big hits. The Guano shot gets through. That one stopped by Berezynski. Centering pass intercepted. And this one's fired down. I was going to say, Dana, you never want to be shorthanded, but YSC over the regular season had a 94% success rate when shorthanded. Ridiculous numbers.
Well, it also is a tribute to the assistant coaches as well on helping in the defensive zone. Matt Hogan, Greg Such do a great job in assisting Rob Schultz.
There's a Guano. Chips it in as the Rebels look to set up. 50 seconds remain in their power play. That pass, smart play there by Foreign. Cut off the D-to-D pass. Sends it down as both teams make changes.
You can see where the line matchups are coming up here as well, Bill. Penalty killing units, power play units, getting the right personnel out on the ice.
Here's Hughes, goes for a skate. It's been a pretty effective penalty kill so far for YSC. Rebels have not been able to get anything going offensively. And that'll probably do it as we've got a packed house here early in the morning. A turnover in front, and that one just slides through the crease. William McHenry with the best chance, and that was for the team that was shorthanded.
You know, you got to give a lot of credit to McHenry.
There's a pass, shot, scores! DJ King from Jack Hughes with 3 seconds left on the power play, and it's the Mississauga Rebels who open up the scoring.
Take a look at this one again, Bill. They set it up so nicely. And DJ King sitting right there on the far left wing and takes the short corner on the play. Berezynski had no chance on that shot.
Well, you can see right there all 4 YSC players committed to the strong side of the puck. Forgot about DJ King, who snuck in behind everybody. Nice find as well by Jack Hughes. And it's a power play goal that opens up the scoring here for the Rebels as YSC, they bring it back. It's McKim, a chance, and that one stopped by Purbu. Another quick shot by McKim as YSC brings out their top scoring line. McKim, Whitaker, and Hillis.
McKim has been huge in this tournament. As mentioned, he had a couple of goals in the big win against the Windsor Junior Spitfires last night. They led 3-0 in the first against the Spitfires.
McKim, all of his points goals, Dana, 4 of them in the tournament as Young brings this one in offside.
Yeah, McKim is absolutely golden. We're going to take a look at back at the Red Wings and the Flyers.
Well, moments after the Red Wings took the lead, the Flyers with a shot from the point, it found a way through, and this one all tied up at 1. We can tell you there's just under 4 minutes to go in the second period of that quarterfinal matchup. As off the draw, here's a chance for Peters. Key fan on that one. It's DJ King on the power play. So far, that's opened up the scoring. A guy who's really impressed us over the course of the season. We knew he's such a good shutdown guy, but we're starting to see what he's capable of doing offensively. And that's a massive opening goal here for the Rebels, as now Vuko skates it in. He loses the handle. It's bobbled in front a little bit, defenseman and Purbu, but Purbu ultimately will find this one.
Looking a little erratic there on that goal, or on the play as it went into the crease. The puck had to be smothered by Purbu, but he was checking the rearview mirrors, make sure it didn't slide through the pads.
Mississauga Rebels, 24-3-6 regular season. But it was not good enough for the Kraft Cup as the Marlies beat them by 2 points. Ended a streak of 6 consecutive years, the Rebels team winning, as there's a chance McHenry on the backhand. That one stopped, winning the Kraft Cup. So we know they will meet the Toronto Marlies in the finals. GTHL finals this year will take place after the OHL Cup because of the under-16 Olympics in Norway. GTHL took a 2-week break. So a little different than what we're used to seeing as YSE brings this one in offside. Let's take a look back at our quarterfinal matchup here. And Tyler Weiss, speaking of the under-16s, that was a great segue. Gold medal with the Team USA in all alone. The dangles the goal. Don Mills Flyers a 2-1 lead now.
Yeah, Tyler Weiss with that shot, that goal. And let me tell you, there's a lot of U.S. universities that want Tyler Weiss in their lineup.
When we did our first broadcast, Dana, I said to Pete, Flyers are my wild card of the wild cards. I said this is a team that's healthier now at the right time of the season. And they've got some weapons, and of course they won their division by beating the Rebels yesterday. The Rebels aren't too used to losing, I'll tell you that much. It was a big win for the Don Mills Flyers. That effectively won the Shanahan division. And that's why we see the Rebels taking on YSE here today, as it's Whitaker behind the net, centers it. Waters, that was out of his reach. About 4 to go now in this first period, still 1-0 for the Rebels. Outlet pass for Aguano. He'll back off as Cranston sends that one cross ice. Here's McLean, looks to cut through the middle. No room there. Burles, he's all over that puck. He's got to step on Cranston. Burles gets to it. Behind the back, sends it in down low. Damiani through the legs. Oh, what a feed to Burles. That puck is there. Berezynski makes the initial save. It's loose. And it's shot wide. I believe the net may have come off. It's whistled down. That's exactly what happened, as Berezynski was sprawling all over the place, but gets the job done, keeps his team just at a 1-goal deficit.
Yeah, take a look at Teth Burles as well on the play, and as he was able to charge towards the net. Great anticipation by Teth Burles. That's a quality that was not mentioned by Jeff Schmogi when we were talking pregame with him. Also mentioned the fact that consistency is the key to success as we see action in front of the net again.
Draw was won. Speaking of impressive defenseman, that shot there by Peter Stratus. Well, it's tough to get by him one-on-one, and another guy who's really stepped up his game offensively for the Rebels, as Damiani and Foreign in on the draw. Scrambled draw controlled there by the Rebels ultimately, as Bitton stepped in. That one finds a way through, and Berezynski finds it before Sam Bitton. If you followed us all year, of course, younger brother of William Bitton, who was a Ontario Junior 67 here in the OHL Cup a couple of years ago. Now he's been doing his thing in the O with the Flint Firebirds.
Yeah, Sam Bitton with 3 goals, 2 assists coming into this matchup. He's been vital to the lineup for the Mississauga Rebels. A great line there with Maya and Hughes.
It's a fast line. A lot of skill, a lot of speed, as McLean brings us in. Takes it past King, brings it out in front, and he lost control at the last second. This pass back for McPherson. He can't get to that one. Of course, as Dana mentioned, this is a rematch of the Silver Stick final. YSE winning that one 3-0. 2 of the top-ranked teams, 2 of the most accomplished teams in Ontario, duking it out here at the OHL Cup quarterfinal. Shot from the point. That one gets blocked by St. John. Now to Vuko, and it's King who will regroup for the Rebels as they make changes. Hughes sifts one into the middle, but that's intercepted by YSE. A turnover, a chance coming back. Gauss. Foreign with the shot. Big rebound kicked out by Purbu. He makes the save nonetheless. Young fails to get it out. Hughes won't make a mistake here. He saw Foreign coming. Just sent that one on the back end. Little John joins the attack, and it's cleared out of the zone. Good pace to this game so far, Dana, but both teams are playing it a little safe, so to speak, but that's what we expect from two of the best who match up so well against each other.
Well, you notice that both teams are right on the puck as well, forechecking and counter forechecking against each other, not giving each other a whole lot of room and a whole lot of breathing space.
The pond is packed here early this morning. It's brought in. Goss sends that one through.
All 5,000 fans.
Well, it's packed here. Fans of the game, family, friends, scouts. Running out of space on floor level there around the rink.
Yeah, I think Dave Gray, the scout from Hamilton Bulldogs, and Jeff McCarricker from Kingston, two of the OHL teams that scout the most here in the OHL. Hamilton's got 18, Kingston's got 16 players from the OHL in their lineup, so certainly they're here today, and I've seen representation there from Windsor and London Knights, among many others.
Roughly 50%, Dana, of the OHL have OHL Cup grads participating. Unbelievable numbers. As there's Kanadi. Tried to cut to the middle. His shot was blocked. Whitaker. His shot goes off the side of the net. Penalty coming up. And one that you don't want to take if you're the Rebels who have the lead. It was nowhere near the play. Puck was already on its way out of the offensive zone, and you trip. Hillis, now you're giving YSE a great chance to get back in this one, as it looks like it's Damiani, one captain, taking down the other. But with the two refs out on the rink, they're not going to miss one of those.
That one was behind the play. Damiani thought he could get away with that one and discreetly yank out the legs, but that's not going to work.
Face-off won by Foreign. McDougall thought about it, sent it to McPherson, gets the shot through. Christian Purbu with the save. Rebels as well, they were the Toronto Titans early bird champs, so everything they've been able to do this year. How about YSE? First in their regular season, only 4 losses. They win their OMHA playoffs as well, going undefeated, scoring 21 times in 5 games as well. And now here in the OHL Cup, still without a regulation loss. 2 wins and the 2 ties, Dana. YSE, they've been dominant. They started the season 17-0-3, their regular season for the Express. Unbelievable numbers.
They're putting up some astronomical numbers here this year, and it certainly makes a statement about where the program's going.
30 seconds remain now in this first period. McPherson's pass goes off his skate.
And Bill, add to that, it's a credit to the coaching staff. They've done an outstanding job this year.
Absolutely, for both of these sides.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Schmogi and
yeah,
Rob Shilton, the 2 head coaches, as this one's cleared down the ice. But if we sound like a broken record saying amazing numbers or unbelievable numbers, that's because you look at what these 2 teams have been able to do. It's been great. McPherson brings it in. Great individual rush, and this shot gets stopped and goes wide. What an opportunity that was there to close out the first period, but we have 15 in the books. Good pace. We see what these teams are capable of, and it's the Rebels with the lone goal so far.
Yeah, Rebels looking real strong and counteracting what York Simcoe Express have put out on the ice so far. Very tight, as we had talked about pregame, with the forecheck and the neutral zone. Both teams feeling each other very, very well.
As they pull out the clipboard and go over a few things, let's check out now our first period highlights. Foreign with one of the better chances for YSE early on. You can see the net get taken down. That would result in our first power play of the game for YSE.
One thing about it, when you're coming in on goal against Christian Purbu, he's a big player in the net at 6 feet 2 inches tall and even bigger pads. He takes up a lot of space. But there you see DJ King with the shot coming from the left side and totally caught Berezinski off guard. He had no chance on that shot. and that was a short corner on the play.
And there's a look at YSE's captain, Cameron Hillis. How about this? 25 goals and 47 assists, good for 72 points in the regular season. Well, that was number one. How about in the OMHA playoffs? Number one in scoring again with 10 points. How about the Silver Stick? Number one in scoring for that. Cameron Hillis has just been doing damage wherever he stepped onto the ice all season long. He's led the way. And so far in this tournament, 5 points coming into this one in 4 games as YSC's power play continues here to start the second.
Well, we've seen some breakout moments here for many of the top scorers in the tournament. Looking at Hunter Holmes from Niagara North Stars with 9 points on 6 goals. And Thomas Maya from Mississauga Rebels, who's put up 8 points, 3 goals and 5 assists.
Nice passing there by YSC. Whitaker goes off the side of the net. Back to McPherson, 30 on the power play. It's YSC's second of the game. That one gets through, deflects, and goes off the post and stays out. What a setup there. McPherson, and it was McKim with the deflection off the post. Now Whitaker with the chance. He was looking top corner, blocker side. It's blocked. As every Rebels player getting in front of that. Now YSC starting to look dangerous here at the latter portion of this power play. Quick shot by Whitaker, stopped by Purbu. It's a good start to this period for YSC as they seemed a little tentative in the first. In the second, now we're starting to see them get going here a minute in.
Watch this shot again, and McKim, he's such a decoy in there, and he's so notorious for getting his stick on the puck and deflected the shot at the last moment, caught Purbu off guard, still able to make the save, but wow, that really electrified both the players on the ice and the fans here in the stands.
And if you're just tuning in, of course, after this one, we will have Junior Canadiens Quinte Red Devils, another wild card team that won their respective division as they had a big victory over the Toronto Marlies in the round robin portion of this tournament. And then on rink 2, which we'll keep you updated on later, Marlies, Hamilton Junior Bulldogs, another crazy quarterfinal matchup. And we'll have the semis live on Rogers TV tonight, 6 and 8 o'clock.
Talk about Super Saturday. It's not just happening in the States, it's right here at Scotiabank Pond in Toronto.
We'll see if we get any upsets, as we've had plenty of them down south when it comes to March Madness. This is our version of some March Madness right here this week during March break, as this takes a bounce off the corner boards right to Purbu. He will glove this one and hang on.
Looking at the York Simcoe Express and how they play the full length of the ice, William McHenry can fly. This guy can fly with among the best in the OHL and with this cup tournament. Certainly to say he doesn't waste his time out in the ice.
Oh, that shot was stopped by Purbu. He whacks his stick on the ice in frustration because he lost control. 2 chances there for YSC. That one falls behind him, trickles over his shoulder, but stays out as that wrister by Bucco. He scored a nice wraparound goal at the 4-2 victory over the Toronto Red Wings. 4 different scorers in that one. A game, as I mentioned, where Red Wings, you could argue, played better as this one's thrown towards the net, but it's YSC who found a way to win, and their depth came through. 4 different goal scorers, winning at 4-2, and Berezinski was incredible as McLean chips this one in.
He's got that very acrobatic style, Bill. A lot of fans love the way Berezinski plays the net.